All right, we are all the way live. WrestleManiacs FastLane and the Raw after FastLane post show. How you guys doing?
Doing
Doing all
okay?
right. Doing okay.
So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do this last night, but we're going to put in, I don't know, quickly go through the pay-per-view and Monday Night Raw. See how quickly we can do this shit.
Yes.
All right. Fastlane opened up Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio, U.S. title, 2 out of 3 falls. I think this was a pretty damn good match. I was expecting Del Rio to win for some reason, but he didn't.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match, actually. I'm glad Del Rio didn't win. And hopefully they keep pushing Kalisto and get him away from Sin Cara, hopefully soon.
This should have been on the actual show.
It should have definitely been on the actual show. I think the 6-man tag team match should have been on pre-show, probably. Should have been on the show, and I mean, I'm curious to see what they do with Kalisto going forward for Mania.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, though, because you would think since Sin Cara is back that they wouldn't see him as a singles wrestler anymore. He wouldn't have that title, but he still got it.
He's gonna turn on him. I can see it happening.
Sin Cara is?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for a heel Sin Cara. Excited.
Yeah, as is everyone else. Let's continue on here. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Naomi and Tamina.
I thought it was a good match, actually. Thought it was good. I mean, you got Becky and Sasha on a team. How can you not like that match?
What do you guys think the Mania Divas match is going to be? Is it going to be like a 3-way or something like that, or
It's going to be a triple threat, I think. It's going to be a triple threat.
Well, that's what I thought too, but I don't know how they're going to get there now based on what they said tonight. I don't know what's going to happen. But
double pin or something, or Charlotte interferes, and I guess it could.
I hope so, because if one of them's not in it, it's like, what do they do with them? If they're not there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird too because I mean, is Paige hurt? What have they been doing with her? Is she out or something? What's the deal?
She's on she's like mixing it up with Total Diva shit, so she'll probably be in some kind of match that has to do with those girls, I bet.
Probably her and Natty versus somebody.
Yeah, like Alicia Fox and
maybe Naomi or somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Eva and Mandy.
Yeah, maybe. It'll be like that'll be like a big cluster match, and then you'll have the real women's match later.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what'll happen with that. Really good match I thought Owens and Ziggler had, which is, I don't think anybody would ever think they wouldn't have a good match, but I mean, it's like, how many times can you see these guys just be thrown together in a match? I mean, it was a good match and everything, but like, it's just like the millionth freaking time,
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it. Yeah.
Well,
good match, but really, who cares?
Yeah, Dolph had Victor's Ascension pants on, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He was trying to ascend.
He was
didn't work out for him, did it?
Ascension Dolph, they're going to be like a band. New gimmick.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Dolph's obsession is with, like, I don't know, he's wanting to be like Vince Neil circa like 1992 or something.
He's like a sex tape soon.
Yeah, which,
So Owens won, thank God.
Who's on the show tonight?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He was like completely absent tonight.
Yeah, instead I thought he was going to do something with AJ and Jericho, but instead we got the Social Outcasts instead.
They'll probably do that shit on SmackDown.
I mean, I hope it's AJ and Owens at Mania. I think tonight made me really nervous when they started doing We're a Team Now, but we'll talk about that as we get there.
I think Jericho's still going to be involved in something. I have a feeling he's going to be part of that match. And probably Miz, too.
I mean, AJ and Owens is, I think, the money match. I think throwing other people in there is just going to take away from it. But you're going to try to fit everybody on that card, so.
Yeah, speaking of fitting everybody in, though, this match had Big Show and Kane and Ryback versus Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper.
The Titan Towers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
It was a better match than I thought it was going to be. Ryback's good at getting himself over, but it was one of those matches. It's like it was pointless and it did nothing for the Wyatts at all. So I don't know why it ended that way.
I still don't know why they even lost the match. I just don't get it.
They don't do anything to build the fucking Wyatts, though. That's the thing. Like, how?
And what do they do at Mania now? Because they both were. Two of the Wyatts were going to be in like prime matches, and now that's not going to happen. So it's like, what do they do with them now?
Battle Royal.
Yeah, they'd be in the. I'm sure all these people will be in the Battle Royal.
Maybe Bray will be with the U.S. title or something to do like a ladder match. I heard so.
Yeah.
Let's see. Charlotte, Brie Bella for the Divas title. It seemed like the crowd was really into this, I guess, because of the whole Daniel Bryan thing recently, which got people on Brie's side, but the match was not very good at all. Like, Brie, I think she's retiring, and it's good for her just because she's not very good, and she's never been that good. I don't know what you guys thought.
She tried. That's what I thought. She tried. It wasn't a good match, but at least she put effort into it, I guess. Charlotte, to me, is weird because I feel like she has to be carried by better wrestlers to look good. Because she can't carry other people to good matches that aren't like beneath her. She can't do it for some reason.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I actually thought the match was decent. I thought it was probably the best Brie Bella match that I've ever seen. So, I mean, that's
I think a lot of that had to do with the crowd, though. It seemed like the crowd was like really into it.
Yeah, I think the fact that the crowd was really into it helped for sure. I thought this was going to be a lot worse than it was. So, I was fine with it because I wasn't expecting much from it. So, I was cool with it.
I'm just glad she didn't win the belt. That's all I can say. Didn't switch it.
Now, did she ever hold the Divas belt? I don't think she ever did.
She did once, I think.
Did she really?
Yeah. Long time ago, during those years where everything blurs together.
Yeah.
Well, there was like a new champion every other week or something.
Like Kelly era or whatever.
Right. Next match up was the third match, I guess, with Styles and Jericho, which is a great match. They had another great match. And they are putting I got to admit, they're putting Styles over quite a bit, quite more than I thought they would. Now, it'll be interesting 6 months from now to see where Styles is on the card. But, again, these guys mesh great together, and I'm guessing, and especially seeing tonight, I guess that feud is officially over now. That Styles won, I guess, the best 2 out of 3 in those matches.
Yeah, it's been a good feud. They're the type of guys that they can put on a couple different matches and they still all be good and not seem that stale. Like, I mean, they could have even did like a best of 7 series, and I think it would have probably been fine. I think Jericho's doing a real good job getting AJ over. I just hope now that he's got kind of the jetpack to kind of go on his own and start feuding with guys like Owens and start working his way up the card.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was a little sloppy though, but I thought the SmackDown match they had was better. But I don't understand why they ruined the Styles Clash the way they did. How he kicked out right after it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But
yeah, is the submission, is that going to be his finisher?
I guess they figured it's safer than the Styles Clash, so maybe that's his new finisher.
Well, the thing about the Styles Clash though is like he's not going to be able to get that on a lot of guys in WWE because about everybody is like towers over him, and bigger. So maybe that's a move that he can get on everybody. Maybe that's their way of thinking it. I don't know.
I bet it is.
So anyway, after the Jericho Styles match, I think we had this segment with the New Day. And Edge and Christian, the what was it, the Rated R Peep Show or something like that?
Cutting Edge Peep Show.
The Cutting Edge Peep Show, yeah.
Which was god awful.
You would think, like on paper, these guys in a segment together is going to be gold, but it just, man, It was brutal.
It was fun until the League of Nations came out.
Right.
They just brought it right down. I don't get why they're feuding. There was no sign of it tonight. I just don't know what's going on.
It just seemed.
Yeah, this was like a perfect time to debut Enzo and Cass, I feel like. And I know it was being rumored and talked about. And I feel like they really just blew it big time with this segment. Because you can kind of tell that this thing was kind of thrown together anyways. Like, it almost seemed like they had an idea and they scrapped it really quick at the end. Because like Freddie said, I think last night that, the E&C connection and then Enzo and Cass, I mean, it was just perfect to segue them onto the main roster and set up something for Mania because, I don't know, they need new teams, they need new talent because what they have now going into Mania is not going to work. So I don't know who the feud is going into Mania for the New Day, but I don't know. I just think it was just definitely a screwy segment, and it led to nothing.
It seemed to go on and on and on, though. Like, that was the worst of it. And like,
New Day were heels, then they were faces, and then League of Nations were face for a second, and they were heel, and it was I don't understand it.
It was a Raw segment. That's what it was.
Right.
And it actually been on the pre-show. I don't know why that was on the actual show, but makes no sense.
So
yeah.
What do you think's happening with New Day now going forward? Is this going to be like this big team thing at Mania, like all these teams for the belt?
Like the Lees and the Usos involved, I guess, because they're feuding. I don't know. I really don't know. They're so above everybody else. It's tough to say.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of Mania is like a puzzle. Like, you're like, whoa. Because Bray Wyatt, like you were talking about, he's another one. Like, he has nothing really.
Right.
Ambrose stole it from him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that have nothing really. I mean, Ziggler, he doesn't. I mean, unless they do, like you said, maybe like a U.S. title thing, like with a ladder or whatever, and they can just put like 5 guys in there. I don't know.
And I think with the League of Nations, man, like, they should just really give up on that and like have all these guys disappear until after Mania, and just like drop it because it's just not. It's no good at all.
You think they're going to drop it, or you think they're going to go through a big segment where they split up and they're all feuding for a while, and we have to deal with that bullshit?
Nobody wants to care. Nobody gives a damn about that shit.
They're gonna do something where they kick out Barrett out of the group when he leaves.
I mean, do you think it's going to lead to like feuds between them, or do you think they just?
I have no interest at all.
I don't either. But I'm just saying, like, I don't want that to happen either. But it's like I don't know what they do with these guys.
Sheamus versus Birdie again.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
I would just, like I said, I would just drop these guys from TV completely for a little while. And
I feel so bad for Rusev. I really do. What happened?
I mean, think of like how far Rusev has dropped in like, a year's time. What he was doing last year compared to this year at Mania. It's kind of crazy.
He had a tank last year, and now he's straddled with these 3 pieces of shit. Jeez.
But I mean, at the same time, you got to look at it and be like, well, Sheamus was champion like 2 months ago, and now I don't even know what he is.
Well, he's still main eventing Raw, man.
Right,
setting the world on
you
fire.
know why he main evented Raw? Because they're like, all right, Roman was getting booed last night, so let's get him in a match where he'll get cheered, and it didn't friggin' work this time.
He's more over than Reigns.
That's why he fought Reigns. That's why he was on tonight. Now next week it's gonna be like Reigns versus like Heath Slater or something.
Heath Slater would be more over than him because everybody loves Slater.
I don't know. They failed though. That's big time.
Speaking of another failure, let's continue on with the next match that was on the show.
Oh God!
For some damn reason, R-Truth and Curtis Axel was, and I'm guessing this was just like filler because they were, they still ended probably about 15, 20 minutes early, something like that.
Right. So basically, the U.S. title match shouldn't have been on the pre-show if they had room for this, right?
Right.
Does anyone even care about Goldust and R-Truth? Like,
no.
Is this going anywhere?
No. It is rather amusing though that Goldust is, he's got Tourette's again. So.
What? Maybe they should just end this with Goldust actually coming out and thinking that he's Booker T, and that's kind of how they can end it. And he basically, Truth just tells him he's not Booker T, and then they just scrap it.
Could do it that way.
I don't know how they can. I don't. They see this going anywhere.
No words. I just have no words.
So let's finish it. The main event: Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose. They were throwing us some curveballs for the shows, for Raw and stuff like that. It seemed like the focus was mainly on Dean Ambrose for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So, evidently this was, again, just a curveball because Roman Reigns, of course, won the match. Now, I thought it was a great match. I mean, mainly just due to Brock Lesnar, to be honest with you. But what was your reaction when Roman Reigns won? Were you surprised, or... I wasn't really that surprised. I was like, okay, he's probably going to win.
Well, let me just say that I agree with you. It was a great match. I thought Ambrose and Lesnar were great in it. Reigns was just there, honestly. He was just like a third guy. The ending, I didn't want it to happen, but I knew it was going to happen because that's the way the storyline was going. And I just think the way they did it was terrible. It was just like out of nowhere. There was like no kick out. There was no nothing. It was just like, okay, he wins.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you guys. It's the same. It was kind of like I was suspected. I was like, figures, But I was kind of pissed because I was hoping they would give us something a little bit different this year for Mania because, again, we know that this match with him and Triple H is not going to be – it's going to be awful. And not necessarily a bad match, but the crowd's going to be so weird in that match, and it's just – he's just not over. He's not over in any way. It's almost like he's gotten worse. I feel like in the last 6 months than he was. So, I mean, I just think that they had the wrong guy win, but I understand they're trying to tell a story, but I don't know what their game plan is here unless he's going to turn heel at some point, either at Mania or the night after or something like that. But
not going to happen.
I think it's going to happen when Rollins comes back.
I mean, yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost like you want it to happen, it should happen, but I almost feel like at this point, if they still haven't pulled the trigger, like, are they going to pull the trigger on it?
I don't think. I mean, I think if they do, it's probably going to be a little ways down the road.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever heard of that before? Like, somebody that gets booed so bad and that they just keep forcing them as a baby. I've never even heard of that before.
Well, a lot of people are comparing, of course, to Cena, but I mean, Cena didn't get booed like that until 3 or 4 years down the road when people got sick of him.
Right.
Like, I can't remember a main event guy just totally getting booed like out of every building on the road to WrestleMania, if you will. So
even Diesel was still getting cheers.
Right.
So yeah. It was weird. I don't understand their mentality. It's like I get what they're trying to do, and I don't blame Reigns for that. I feel bad for him, honestly. I feel really bad that he's in that position because he's doing what the job's telling him to do, and it's not working.
No, agreed. But he also doesn't help as far as his mic work or anything like that. But
the smiling has to go.
Yeah, the thing is they're putting him in that position. He's not ready for that position.
No.
Like that, and that's not him. What they're trying to get him to do. Like, I don't know what they're telling him to actually do, but when people loved him in the Shield, he was just kind of a silent ass kicker. He didn't really say anything, and that's to his strength. He's not really good on the mic, so I don't know why they keep putting him out there and keep him in these interview segments and stuff like that backstage when he sucks.
They try to make him into The Rock when he was really Goldberg. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you think that what do you think he must feel like? Like, I would feel, even though you're getting all this money and getting pushed to the moon, this, that, and this, to get booed out of the building at every time you win like a major match or event, I mean, that must get frustrating for you to almost be like going to the back, like, why am I doing that? Why am I doing this? Like, that must suck because it's the opposite reaction than you want, and it's like, no matter, every time you win something big, it's like you get booed out of the building. So, I don't know, I just seem like it would be frustrating for him, and finally him just be like, listen, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to be a heel. It's almost like not fair to anybody, really. Not fair to him, not fair to the fans, not fair to other guys that could be in that position. And I'm hoping that when Rollins comes back, he gets cheered and they're forced to kind of mix it up a little bit. Because I feel like Rollins is going to be a big deal when he comes back.
Oh, definitely. And I think Reigns needs to speak up and say, this is not working. I think he needs to just go, let's do it a different way or something. I don't know.
Especially after tonight. I mean, I don't know what the hell that was that happened tonight. So
it was strange for sure.
Yeah.
It was one of the stranger ending segments that I can think of, where the babyface just gets freaking mutilated and the heel gets cheered.
Right, and then last night too, he was getting wailed with chair shots by Dean, and then all of a sudden just got up and speared him or whatever, and it almost like he didn't have any effect on it. And in a way, is it one of those things well, he gets to wear a vest, so do the chair shots not really bother him that much? It's like
some body armor, man.
He's allowed to wear padding and shit because he kind of no-sold those chair shots big time. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, but continuing on though, we had Monday Night Raw tonight, and the opening segment, we did get to find out who won the Vincent J. McMahon Award or Legacy of Excellence Award, or whatever the hell it's called. I was kind of thinking it'd be Triple H, but Stephanie was like, yeah, not that surprising. I knew it was going to be McMahon. So, what did you guys think of the segment, which actually brought back Shane McMahon for the first time? And I thought he'd been gone longer, but they said 6 or 7 years, something like that.
7 years, yeah.
I thought he was gone even longer than that, though, for some reason.
Best segment on Raw in years.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked because, that didn't leak anywhere. It was unexpected, and I mean, I was shocked and I was excited, and the place went nuts, man. I mean, he was more over than I don't think anybody they could have brought out.
He's the number one babyface in the company.
I think besides CM Punk or whatever, I don't see anybody else getting that kind of reaction coming out.
Daniel Bryan, yeah, he's on that level.
Dude, and I even think in his head he was probably like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
he's crying.
Yeah, he was crying there. He was so taken back by that response, which I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that it didn't leak at all anywhere. Nobody reported on it or anything, so it wasn't out there. So it was a major shock to everyone.
Plus, he's the McMahon that's the least overexposed.
Right. I mean, he looked great too. I feel like for someone you haven't seen in almost 10 years, I feel like he looked fantastic.
He's working out.
I mean, he looked good, man. And I was happy for him. It seems like he probably said to himself, "Jesus, why haven't I not came back sooner?" Because he was probably excited that people still remembered who he was, that these fans are still fans that were fans 7 years ago. But I loved it, the whole thing. And I'm glad they didn't pair him up with Reigns because that's what I thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I was worried about that.
Especially when he was getting so over, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to pair him up with Reigns to get Reigns over. But I'm happy with the direction they went. It was random, but, I'm happy for it.
But it makes me so interested in the match, how it's going to go.
Right.
That I'm excited about something for once in this card. Okay, here we go.
Imagine that phone call though. Vince hey, Taker, you're fighting Shane. I mean, so random.
But Taker okayed it, so there must be something going on. So there's the storyline there.
Yeah, so. I mean, I got so many text messages and stuff. Shane McMahon, it was unreal. My phone was blowing up.
I was so excited. I've always been a fan of his, so I was just so happy to see him.
Yeah, I mean, he actually, a lot of the matches and stuff, I remember the Kurt Angle match, he's had some amazing matches. People really don't talk about that much.
Yeah.
Even though when his dad at WrestleMania, when Linda stood up, that was a great match.
Mm-hmm.
What it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he and Taker's going to have an amazing match, but, again, what do you do with that? If the rights to Raw are on the line, for a fact he's not going to fucking beat Taker at Mania. I wouldn't think.
You don't know that. I don't know.
I mean, you know what? Maybe there's something screwy will happen to set Taker up for something else later.
There was a rumor saying that the Anderson and Gallows might help Shane beat Taker. That was a rumor.
I mean,
to make him debut.
Some stuff needs to happen. I mean, I think it needs to happen at Mania, after Mania, the day after, and a lot of stuff needs to happen before Mania. This was a good start, but it can't end now because there's still not enough power on that card right now that they can't stop these surprises and stuff. They can't. It needs to continue to go. Because, I mean, besides that match, and yeah, Dean and Brock is going to be cool, but I just feel like what else is there going to be that's worthwhile? You know?
It's still going to be tough. Very, very difficult, especially if, like, Cena's not going to be ready.
I don't think Cena's going to be there, because if he was going to be there, he would have had Taker. So that's...
Right. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I would love to see some guys from NXT come up early, but, you know, is it one of those things where they feel like, well, why the hell are we going to bring these guys up to be at WrestleMania when we have guys who worked all year to get on that card, you know? So that's why a part of me is like, okay, well, they're not going to bring anybody else up and just hand them a WrestleMania match. But I feel like they need to. They need to.
It's going to be difficult because, like, you know, 4 hours, and the fact that they want to sell that arena out or that stadium out, which is going to be very difficult for them to do anyway. Yep. Especially with all these injuries they have right now. I mean, it's going to be very difficult, like I was saying, for them to get a sold out crowd in that stadium.
Yep, no, I agree. So something's going to give somewhere.
You should have a match with all those injured guys in one match. Battle Royal or something.
Now they definitely need another sort of big name to come out, like a Goldberg, or if they could talk Shawn Michaels into one more match or something. They need something else.
I was thinking Goldberg because Ryback just turned, didn't he? So I figured he said he wants the spotlight. So I figured maybe that's their way of maybe bringing in Goldberg.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They could do that actually.
Yeah, they definitely need something else. And they definitely need to work on some of the undercard storylines too. Make us give a shit about some of this stuff, because we see most of these guys wrestling each other like it's the same group every Monday. So right. Put some story behind this shit, man, instead of just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I think AJ and Owens have a pretty good story they can tell if they start doing some backstories and stuff. But you know, it's getting there and making that match, which I feel like is a match that needs to happen, but I feel like they're not. They're going to probably throw a bunch of guys in those matches, and they're just going to be in the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could do a couple things. Like, I would love to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have that match at Mania, and they would explain their history together. Mm-hmm. Now, probably not going to happen, but that would make sense to do that and end it at WrestleMania. Right. But it looks like Kevin Owens may be doing the AJ Styles, but
you know, he was on the show tonight. Like,
yeah.
What was going on with that?
Wasn't there a tweet or something he sent out about AJ Styles last night?
Not to mess with him or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they finalized that, but to me, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, that would be a match I would want to see for Mania.
I say next year that will happen.
Yeah, I would want to see. I want to see it too, but it's just tough because it's like all those NXT guys are going to be on their event, like the night before or whatever. So to have
Friday before, yeah.
To have them do a double just seems like it wouldn't happen. You know, so.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it makes it seem less special if they just had a match. If the guys just rested on Friday night too.
Right.
So, anything else though on Raw, like that was of note? I guess they announced the Ambrose and Lesnar match was definitely happening.
Street fight, which is a great move.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, what's nice too about Mania is they got some stipulation matches, which they don't usually do. A Hell in a Cell, like in just the middle of the card. I mean, that's pretty good. And then to have like a street fight, like it's nice that they have like these kind of gimmicks matches at Mania, because you don't usually see that much anymore. Oh no, because they did they did something with, was it a Hell in a Cell or whatever with Taker and Triple H?
Yeah, that was years ago. Yeah. With Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Let's injure more people. That's what they're trying to do.
You know Shane's gonna do crazy shit too.
He's gonna pull off the cell, dude. I'm waiting for it.
Well, the thing is Shane, like, Shane is just a special event. I mean, he's not going to be wrestling regularly, so he don't give a damn.
Right.
You know. He'll be doing his 2 or 3 matches a year and just do some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now Taker, I mean, I don't know if those two guys will probably put on a fantastic show, but I'm pretty sure Taker's done doing crazy shit. So he's just going to be receiving it in that match, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Will this be a retirement match, you think?
I don't know. I think he probably has another one left, and it's probably going to be Cena next year. I would think.
What's with all the stuff with Cena though, saying he's trying to defy science or whatever and come back or whatever? I mean,
he wants that payday, man.
Yeah. I mean, who's the payday against though? Evidently, the Shane thing had been planned out for a little while.
I mean, I don't know how long it's been planned out because everything was Braun till 5 days ago.
Well, they started announcing the award thing. Was it last week or something?
Last week, yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, you would think they knew it was him then.
Yeah.
I could see Cena being the referee for that main event. Could they need star power in that main event?
What's The Rock going to do though? Is he going to be in Reigns' corner?
I guess.
They're not going to have The Rock referee. No way. No way.
Yeah, but I mean, if The Rock is in Reigns' corner, they don't need Cena as a guest referee in the same match. You wouldn't think.
True, but they might stack it. Maybe.
I would say the only reason to have The Rock in Reigns' corner is if something happens at the end between those two. If not, then they need to have The Rock doing something else.
Well, they're only going to put Rock in Reigns' corner if they want Reigns to maybe get some cheers, and then maybe do something like you said. Because after tonight, I don't know what the hell the plan is now. Because you're gonna what? You're gonna walk into Mania as Triple H as the face, which it's looking like is gonna happen. I mean, and he even acted like it too, tonight. He's doing the DX chop and basically just made Roman just look like the biggest bitch out there.
That's because he is.
I know, but it's just but he didn't do him any favors, and it was are they at a point now where it's what the hell are we gonna do? Because your main event for Mania, the guy that you want to leave as the champion, is getting booed that bad on TV. It's they're fucked, really.
Nothing they can do because next week's gonna be in Chicago. He's screwed.
They've got some hard.
He's in bad shape next week.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rough. I think the next every one until Mania is it's
a smart town.
Right.
So
I don't know, man. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
And then Mania, all the foreign guys who know all about the wrestling, they're gonna boo him too. So it's
yeah, Mania is gonna be brutal for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And the night after Mania, especially, holy shit.
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's one of those matches that it's the main event, but I'm looking forward to that the least right now.
You have to have Shane and Taker as the last match on the show, because honestly, you have Reigns and Triple H. I don't know.
I mean, do you think they're scrambling right now, or do you think they just don't care at this point?
I think they're all in now. What can they do? They can just go, okay, we're gonna stop this angle and turn it around. It's too late now.
I know it's too late now. It's just sad,
I would love it if Triple H beats him, though. That'll be the best thing ever.
Are they going to end a Mania on a note where everybody's booing the new champion?
They have no choice.
Tonight, it's almost like they're just denying it. Like they're booing Reigns all night, and you hear Cole the Roman Empire is going crazy. No, they weren't going crazy in a positive way. It's they just ignore it, it doesn't exist or something.
Who the fuck is the Roman Empire, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The girls that scream for him when he comes down the ramp.
Yeah, but even the girls are not I mean, back in the day,
But Jeff Hardy, when they scream.
Yeah, or even Ravish and Rick Rude or something, where you could hear just women fucking. You can't. I mean, you don't really hear anything when Roman Reigns comes out.
So even Randy Orton got more women cheers than he does.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. It's very strange right now. Hopefully they'll start panning things out next week and stuff, but I don't know, man. I just wish there was more going on than what's going on. I feel like they dropped the ball. Having all these guys injured, I think the ball was so dropped because these guys are going to be back pretty soon. So these last 8 months or whatever has been awful. Like, it's been hard to watch, man. You guys know. And I just feel like there was so much lost opportunity, especially with some of the guys down in NXT. Like, they should have already been brought up now and have been built. So when these guys all come back, it's like you've got, 5 guys that are really built up, and then all these guys coming back that you can set up some good feuds, but they decided not to do it that way.
Well, look at Tyler Breeze, who came up, and what has he done?
Right. Well, that's why they need to come up in a unique way, kind of like, I don't know. I don't know when the Balor Club thing's going to happen. It's probably going to happen that Friday, right? Or that night?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. They definitely need, like we were saying, I think I was saying this last night, they need somebody to shake things up in a major way, like creatively, because it just seems like there's just so much stuff that just seems thrown out there. Like 95% of everything's thrown out there, and then the other 5% just saved for Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as sad as that is, like, they don't have hardly any creative direction at all. I mean, it was refreshing to see like an angle that didn't involve Roman Reigns opening the segment of Raw this week, and I enjoyed seeing Shane McMahon and all that back. But I mean, in the long run, is that really going to change anything about the show?
I mean, you would think that if they're gonna put Shane in power of the show, that something's gonna be different, or else nothing's gonna change. So they're either prepping for something, but I don't know what it is that they do that makes any sense.
They need to change like the look of the show, the sets, everything. Like, it has to be like a complete overhaul, because right now it's just stale as shit.
It's crazy too, because that set that they have, give or take a few pieces, I think they've had it for like 8 years. That Raw set and SmackDown set and most of the pay-per-view sets, the same fucking set.
Yeah, and the 50-50 booking is what's killing all these undercard guys.
Yeah.
No one's got momentum. Nobody does. Like Owens has a little bit, but then at the same time, it's like you say that, and then he loses to like, what is his name there? Friggin' Adam Rose, like randomly. So it's like I don't understand why nobody has momentum. Like, no one does. It's weird to me. And then it's like you just decide one day, like, oh, we're gonna push the Wyatts now, and then everybody's like, oh, Wyatt's gonna get
next
pushed
week. Yeah,
it's like, yeah, like.
Oh, that was last week. We pushed them last week.
Right, and remember they did like that big segment where they were just like, we're changing and we're gonna be more aggressive and all that, whatever it is, and then that lasted like a week, and everybody's like that. Nobody has any momentum. Ziggler, none. It's like everybody else on that card is just like junk, which sucks. I don't understand why things are like that. I don't get it.
And the thing is too is like, even when like John Cena and Randy Orton and all these guys come back, it's not going to make it any more interesting at all.
Mm-mm.
Because those guys have been on the roster. They've been on top on the roster for like 15 years.
Right. I'm looking forward to like Rollins and Cesaro to come back more than any of them. And I feel like Cesaro is not even going to be a big deal when he comes back. Like, I want him to be, but I feel like he's just going to get thrown exactly where he was when he left. But I feel Rollins will be pushed to the top right away, which will be nice. But, I mean, that's really it.
Yeah,
I don't know what they can do. I really don't know what they can do. It's hard because
it's like damage has been so done now.
Right, like you have to like stop the show for like 3 months and then come back, reboot everything. You know what I mean? It's like WCW did, like kind of, but they did it the wrong way. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know what they can change. I really don't.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna pick like 3 guys and say, okay, these 3 guys are gonna be our next, guys climbing the ladder, and they just gotta give them momentum and just, they don't have to explain too much, and just have them just win constantly and have them move up the ladder. Like, you can save anybody if you put the time into it, but that's the thing. They put in like a week and then they're back to losing again. It's like they just stay stagnant. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter like how much the talent sucks either. I mean, like fucking Ryback, they could have pushed him. He was like, at one point, he was like the most over guy they had.
Right.
But they had nothing for him really. I mean, and then he keeps losing.
It was funny because he was so over, and then they turned him heel against Cena. Like, why?
Probably because they were afraid that he was going to be more over than Cena, so they wanted to turn him. But that's the thing, like you're ruining a good thing. Like when does it's just a weird? They have just a weird business sense. Like back in the day, like for instance, Hulk Hogan was their top guy. Ultimate Warrior was rising up, and they marketed Warrior. They gave him a chance to be the top guy. I mean, he had just as much merch as Hogan did. It's like, why when you get a guy that comes in that has momentum like that and fanfare that you're gonna like just bury him down to the ground and be like, oh no, we don't want this guy to be over. And then it's like, then when you make him look like crap, then nobody cares about him anymore. It's like, why do that? That's what I don't get that. Is that when people are over, it's like, what business is like, well, let's just push him down because we don't really want him to be at this point. I don't know.
They've done it with so many guys over the years too. I mean, that's what's so frustrating is they would have, marketed correctly, they would have probably 5 or 6 more top guys now than what they have.
Right. Even look at the Attitude Era. You had, so many, like even Foley and Triple H and Rock and Austin. It's like you had like 5 big name guys that, were kind of juggling the belt around, but they were known names where they were like, they were doing a lot of like merchandising and marketing, and now it's nobody seems that important anymore. And not even Reigns doesn't seem that important anymore. So I don't know. The only guy on that roster that really does seem important to me is Brock. That's right.
Which is why I'm glad Ambrose is with him, because I feel like that's going to elevate Ambrose.
Well, they're doing a really good job with Dean right now, actually. So he's another one that they're doing a good job with.
But they're going to turn. I have a feeling they're going to turn him the night after Mania on Reigns. I have a feeling.
But the thing is, if they turn him on Reigns, he's going to be a big baby face.
I know, but then what happens when he loses to Reigns? And you know what I mean?
I don't know what you do, man. What, you're just gonna do Reigns versus like Ascension for the next 6 months? Like, I don't know what you do to.
Isn't Strowman the plan supposedly?
I guess.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Then Strowman's gonna probably have to win that Battle Royal or something.
That's what they said. He was gonna win the Battle Royal. That was the plan.
I'm guessing that's going to be on the pre-show. Again.
Who knows? You never know.
And that was another thing, too. They could have made that Battle Royal seem so much more special, too, and they blew it. Now it's like a joke, kind of.
Yeah, it was on, was it last year's was pre-show, right? The first one was actually on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was the third match on the card.
Yeah. But I'm sure this one's going to be on the pre-show again. I would be shocked if it wasn't. Right. Have they even mentioned that there's going to be a Battle Royal this year?
No.
But they say it's an annual thing, so I'm guessing it's going to be one. What else can you do with those guys? I mean, what else can you do?
It's going to be interesting, though, because they don't really have a whole lot of talent. So they're probably going to be bringing, Funaki will be in there, and, some of the NXT guys will probably be on there, and people
Michael Hayes could do something. He's going to be there. Sting.
All right, that's another thing, too. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame thing. Here's the thing.
Oh, the Christian and the Pimp?
No, I like Godfather and all. I like him. I think as a whole for his career, does he probably deserve Hall of Fame? I mean, he was around. He had multiple gimmicks, and, it was good. But, really, is now really the time for him, though? That's what's weird to me.
He was more over than Reigns.
It was a good gimmick, yeah, but I mean, you think about it and you're like, all these people that still haven't got in that have better stats than this guy does. I don't know. He was alright. He was cool, but I don't know if he was...
Honestly, though, here's one that I'll never understand. How in the hell is the Rock and Roll Express not in the Hall of Fame yet?
Well, there's a lot of people like that.
Demolition's not even in there.
Right, Demolition should be in there way before Godfather gets put in.
Heart Foundation, none of them are in, except for Brad.
I'm guessing the tag team is going to be Freebirds this year.
Yeah, they're going to put them in. Freebirds, but, it's nothing against Godfather, what is it, Cedric Wright or whatever. I think he had a great career, but, I would almost look at him more as, his overall career as, the multiple gimmicks than I would just say Godfather. Yeah,
I would totally induct him as Kama Mustafa from, Nation of Domination.
How about the Good Father? You don't want him to put him in there?
No, actually, like my favorite gimmick of his is Papa Shango for some reason. Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I don't know. It's just to me, it just seems like a weird inductee for some reason. Like it just doesn't seem. I don't know why that was like, oh, let's put him right in there now.
It is, but I mean, they have what, about 7 or 8 spots every year, so it's fine. I mean, you know,
I guess they're trying to find some alive guys. That must be what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. But like, what about someone like Vader? Like Vader should be in there well before Godfather gets put in. So let's hope he gets added too, because I mean that's another guy who's still alive and deserves damn well to be in that hall.
King Kong Bundy's not even in there.
Bundy's not in?
No.
I mean,
I would think.
Would I put Bundy in? I don't know.
I would.
I
Because
mean,
he was a known name. People knew who he was.
Yeah, I would put him in there. I would put. Yeah, I mean, I would think. Is Diamond Dallas Page not in there? He's not in there either, is he?
Not in there either. No,
would be
he should
another
be.
one.
He should be though.
he should be for sure.
Sid.
I would have put Sid in way before I put Godfather in for sure.
Did they ever put Brian Pillman in the Hall of Fame?
No.
No.
He's another one.
Luger.
Oh God, I would see like that. I mean, screw it. They should have just did like since Sting's doing it, they should have just did like an all WCW Hall of Fame pretty much. Like, because I mean, yeah, these are all guys that are like still alive. That I mean, who knows how long like someone like Luger is going to be hanging around.
Even the ECW guys are not even in there. Like Dreamer. I don't know.
Right. That's why. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like nothing against Godfather. I just don't think it's his time yet. They should have put him in when there wasn't that much like people to choose from still. I don't know. It's just weird to me that he was like the next guy in. So who's going to headline Sting? I doubt it, right?
Sting's the headliner.
He's the headliner now?
Yeah.
Well, no Taker in Texas.
No.
No, you probably have the Freebirds, and maybe like.
They say Jacqueline's going to be in there.
Yeah, I heard Jacqueline is probably going to be the lady, and who's going to be the celebrity?
Regis Philbin.
Oh,
Is that what they said?
Yeah, Regis Philbin.
What about LT? LT should get in, no?
Yeah, I don't know if those
The
two.
cocaine and all that stuff. I don't know if they want to mention that stuff right now. I heard like Thunder Liger might be the international one.
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserves it
So.
as a career as a whole. I don't know.
It's gonna be a weird class. It's gonna be weird.
It's going to be a busy weekend that weekend too, though, because they're going to have the NXT show on Friday, the Hall of Fame on Saturday, and then
Yeah.
my wife's going to be fucking killing me that
Then
weekend.
Raw.
Yeah, Raw the next night. So yeah, it's going to be insane. I hope I don't have to work that weekend either. So that would suck.
What's the date on it? Do you know?
April.
It's like the first weekend in April or something.
Like April 3rd, April 4th, something like that.
It always hangs around my birthday. My birthday's the 5th, and it's always sometimes lands on it. I don't know what.
I think it's April 3rd.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes sometimes it's randomly like in November, and I think like sometimes it'll grab like the end of March, but
April 3rd.
But Sunday's the 3rd.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so anything else on Raw you guys wanted to mention? I mean, it was kind of like the opening segment was amazing, and they had a cool segment with Lesnar and Ambrose, but everything else, like especially
the ending.
Yeah, the ending was just bizarre.
Do you guys think Scott Steiner's coming out every time you hear that freaking damn siren?
Yes, I do. I was like, how have you hear me?
Yeah, I always say that. And then tonight it was like a truck noise, like this, and plus the siren. I was like, Diesel and Steiner coming out? That'd have been sick.
NWO.
Yeah, they could induct the NWO in the Hall of Fame. Have Steiner out there, and they could bring them all back. Yeah.
Hogan, though.
I would put Steiner in before I put Godfather in.
The Steiner brothers should be in there, though, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
They should be in there.
Mm.
And if they're afraid of what he's going to say on the speech. You know how he is.
Oh, he'd be brutal, dude. Because he's probably gonna be so pissed at everybody and like shoot on everyone.
What's Rick Steiner doing though? You don't hear anything from him anymore, hardly.
He's a real estate agent.
I was just gonna say, I think I saw him like selling houses or something.
Yeah, he's a real estate agent. His son is becoming a wrestler, I think.
Oh, really?
Is he? Yeah.
So, Yeah, I mean, as far as the WrestleMania show, there's a couple things I'm actually kind of looking forward to on Mania now, which, this time yesterday I would be saying absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. Now, if they end the pay-per-view with Reigns and Triple H, that's just going to be, that's bad. That's a bad move, and I think they're probably going to do that.
Triple H is not going to say no to that. I mean, come on. Triple H is going to be like, I got to main event this show.
Of course. The biggest show, the biggest Mania, he's going to main event. For sure.
It's going to be an interesting spectacle. At least I'll say that. Like Lesnar, Goldberg,
Yeah.
That reminds me, though, like, wasn't there supposed to be like a WrestleMania, like a March to WrestleMania special or something like that?
March 12th.
Is that still happening? Because they haven't mentioned that shit at all.
Supposed to be in Canada, supposedly. Still happening. Yeah.
And you would think they would mention.
Me and Garrett are going to miss it because we got Monster Mania.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we'll
Jason Patrick, is he still coming?
What?
Is Jason Patrick still coming?
God, I check every day. I get
He'll wait until like the night before and be like, fuck it.
Okay. He's like, wait, he's like, that March to WrestleMania is on Saturday? No, I'm not. I'm staying.
Watch that shit.
I gotta watch Roman Reigns, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too. I'm excited for the show, but I feel like they've got all their eggs in that basket, and it's like, if he cancels, the lineup's not that great, really, which is sad. So, I don't know.
Well, that was the same thing that happened to, what was it, a Whorehound show a couple years ago or something?
Twice in a row, 2 years in a row. Cancel.
I hope he doesn't cancel because I don't want to see Garrett cry.
It'll be bad. I've tried to go see him twice, and he canceled both times.
If he cancels this time, you should just swear him off or something. No, I'm done with you, motherfucker.
he never keeps promises. Like,
what the fuck is he busy doing anyway? Like, what is he doing?
He was just in a new horror movie that just came out. Did you see it? It's called like Intruder or something like that.
No, I haven't heard of it.
He's in a TV show too.
And you said that. So I don't know what he's doing. He can't. I mean, he must have a weekend to give.
Maybe he's working for the asylum. If that's the case, he's probably not got any free time. He's making like 4 or 5 movies at once.
So I don't know. I hope he's there. It says Friday and Saturday only. It's 2 days. I mean, come on, 2 days he can be there. I don't even care if he's just there Friday.
And China is actually making the rounds at these shows too. So.
Yep. X-Pac. He's on different shows. They don't put them together.
You're gonna have to come up and say hi to China, Garrett.
I saw her last year at Chiller. And,
like a bobblehead, dude.
She was like charging like a shit ton of money, and then like later at night there was like a concert going on, and she was just hanging around, like just taking pictures of people for free. So I don't know. I would have hated to pay that money and then just have her just take pictures of everybody.
I think Aaron, we were watching the pay-per-view last night, Uncle Bill, and he was saying that he saw, I think it was Bill Goldberg that was at a show last year in Lexington. He was charging like $80 an autograph.
Yeah, he was at a show last year too. Yeah, I didn't meet him. He was charging $80. Yeah.
Holy shit, man! What in the hell is these? Like, I used to love to go to conventions just because it was so fun to meet. At the most, it's $20 to get somebody's autograph then. But now you've got all these people charging like, 40, 50, up to $80 to get their damn autograph.
The thing was, Goldberg had a huge line too when I was there, so people were paying it. But,
well, I wouldn't be next, so.
No, neither.
Next either.
So I guess that's it. It's getting kind of late. I know Freddie. I actually need to get some sleep too.
Yeah.
I've been up for quite a while.
It's been a long day.
We will see you guys at some point in the near future. Hopefully we can do like a retrospective or something.
Saying that. We gotta just do it. Oh, by the way, before we leave, did you see that thing I sent you about the WrestleMania 7 main event that never happened? Did you see that?
I did. I saw something. Was it Chic Tugboat or something like that?
Yeah.
I thought that was just that was legit, really? I thought that was like one of those spoof websites or something.
No, they wanted to do. Pritchard was on a podcast and he said that the big thing for WrestleMania 7 was going to be like the U.S. versus like the Middle East, and they had they had General Adnan to manage somebody, and they didn't contact Slaughter yet. So the original plan was going to be for Tugboat to turn like Iraq or whatever like that, or something or some kind of Sheik gimmick or whatever, and turn on Hogan. And then they ended up scrapping it. And if you remember back then, him and Tugboat kind of had like, there was like certain times around then that they kind of like getting on each other's nerves. Like I think like one of them eliminated one from a battle royal. Like they kept like teasing like a turn, but then never went anywhere.
Yeah.
That was why.
I did see Tugboat or Shockmaster as
Edge and Christian.
Yeah, on the Edge and Christian show. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that would have been funny with a Tugboat Sheik. Would have been funny.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell thought of that.
That's cocaine talking.
And that was his name too, right? It was going to be Sheik Tugboat or something like that. I'm like, goddamn.
Tugboat Sheik.
Imagine that poster. I have my Hogan 7 poster signed. I would have had it.
Hogan versus Sheik Tugboat.
He would have had his Navy outfit with camouflage on.
Oh my god.
That sounds funny. Wow. Yeah, all right. We'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll do a retrospective.
Hopefully, we'll do like an old WrestleMania or something.
Yeah.
When would the main event sucks? This one's going to too as well.
There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of ones in that mix that get really confusing.
Yeah, there was like WrestleMania 13 had a shitty main event, didn't it? When it's Sid and Taker.
Yeah, which Sid shit is
bad.
Punks. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that one with Sid Snot Rockets at the kids in the audience. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Only 2 good matches on that show.
It was like, remember there was like an Ahmed and like, I just remember like a big
LOD
clusterfuck match.
Yeah, that was I love that match.
Was that Ahmed and LOD?
Yeah, against the Nation. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then Bret Austin, of course, which is my favorite match of all time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, wasn't the Sultan on that show?
Yes, against The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sultan was a great gimmick.
That had money written all over it.
Yeah. The Sultan looked like a fucking character from Mortal Kombat or something. Like they had a lot of wrestlers back in the day that looked like they belonged in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortis and all them.
Yeah.
Glacier.
So anyway, guys, I guess we'll see each other again here in a couple weeks or something. We'll get together and think of a vintage retrospective.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, man.
All right. See you later, guys. Everybody else have a good week.
Latest.
Later.
Bye.